Oh, look who it is. I'm not dead. So I've gone back to my webcam tracking for now. I'm still working on getting kind of getting a new model, or at the very least working on this current model so that it can do better face tracking. Yeah, but until then, we're just gonna stream with the older model, and we'll do the better model soon. So today I'm playing some Tavern Talk. Since there's nobody here, I'm pretty much just gonna jump into it. So yeah, let's do it. We're gonna go like that. Okay. Okay. I played a little bit of Coffee Talk. Those of you who were like watching way back when might remember, but there's probably no one here who does. I always dive into the settings first. Okay, I'm not using a controller, but in case I decide to. Alright. Don't know what this is. Oh, hello. The wanted wall? Okay. I'm assuming this is just like patrons. Okay. This is probably patrons. Because I think this game was on, or I guess Kickstarter bonuses, because I think this game was on Kickstarter. So yeah, let's hop into it then. I'm gonna be, yeah, we'll just go with he, him, because I am he, him. I am him.
Once upon a time in a world far, far away.
There's voice acting.
In a realm ruled by dragons.
I don't know if I need to do my voice acting for the characters.
Well, actually, it was this line specifically. Not that far away. Let me start over. Once upon a time, somewhere in Gaia, not that far away, there was a tavern. My tavern.
My tavern.
A place for anyone looking for an adventure or a quick refreshment. A place open to everybody. Even jackdaws, I suppose. But
Even
I'm not
jackdaws.
just your typical innkeeper. My drinks are infused with magic to aid ambitious adventurers on their quests. To make sure they always return victorious. Big shoes to fill, I know. Then again, what's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that could happen? Honestly. Hiya, Innkeep. How's it going? All fine and dandy? Yeah, can't complain. How about you, Fable? All fine and dandy? Yes, all fine and dandy. I had such an exciting day. Really exciting. Did you go on an adventure? Even better. I took a walk around the grove, and then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. Oh. And I patiently waited for it to turn into a mushroom monster, or a mushroom mimic. Maybe a gnome. Did it? No. But I got to take another walk around the grove. How was it? Great. I got to see the same stones, the same trees. The same Amaranthian Hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon. The same moss. I even got to water the asters. They didn't really need it, but I was there, so it sounds very exciting. Who am I kidding? My life is as exciting as a roasted nut. Bro. Same. Nuts are healthy, you know? Very thrilling in sauces or as a snack. There are various types of nuts. Walnuts, peanuts, hazelnuts. I'm allergic. Okay, okay. I did not know that. Oh, no worries. I mean, I never told you. Seems like something you would tell someone who's making you drinks. Or just like, you know, right? Right? Wouldn't you tell someone that? I would. And hey, at least something would happen if I... At least something would happen if I ate a nut. Not just not something very fun, but... anaphylactic shock and all that. Does that count as an adventure? No. I think that counts as a mistake. So what you're saying is that you're missing some spice. Oh, no. I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me much. Though I'm very good at growing Phoenix chilies. I was talking about spice in your life. Oh. Whoops. That's what you meant. Well, yes, exactly. That's it. There's no chili flakes, no garlic, no dragons. Just a lot of salt. Like a bland... I'm like a bland soup. So a classic case of boredom, I see. Do you know that feeling? When nothing exciting is going on in your life? Bro, I know that feeling. I feel that feeling. You're not the only one. Like, life isn't bad, it's just not particularly fun. Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Huh? Drama, buzz, excitement, something fiery. Go to the theater or the gala. Arrive in a hot air balloon. A hot air balloon? Don't they fly up really high? The face. Yeah, I think that's the point. Well, I'm afraid of heights, and of people, and of actors. But apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not telling of a tale? How can I sing of things if I never lived through anything? That's a good point. What do you mean? Well, day in, day out, I live in the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest, and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Like, for example, listen to the song I started writing. I wish to be a hero, slaying mighty drakes. I wish to meet a pretty nymph resting by the lakes. Pretty nymph, that's pretty daring. Of course it is. That's the point. Finding them, enjoying themselves in the water. The sun shining through the treetops, making the stream glisten in fragmented light and a divine beauty. I would love to sing about exciting, magical things I encounter. Hang on, let me just write that in my journal. Cool, alright. But to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Not a lot of songs you can write about that. Hey, yeah, I wouldn't mind a jingle. I'll think of one. Can I mention nymphs? I'd prefer if you didn't. Okay, maybe one day I'll get to offer them their own jingle. In the meantime, can I offer you a drink? Yes, I'd love a drink. The usual? Alright, coming up. That means a swift strike, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder. It's my favorite. Okay. Always makes me feel like a featherlight nymph floating through the waves of a sunny lake. Do you want to be with a nymph or be a nymph? Both? But mostly, I want a swift strike. Alright. Although, I was wondering, come to your tavern so long, I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Could you show me? Yes, let's do the tutorial. Really? Yeah, why not? What should I do? Do I need an apron or someone familiar? How do I summon a familiar? Just follow me. Don't worry about it. I'm a pro. Welcome to my drink mixing nook. So this is what it looks like back here. Hello, Andu. Hey, hello. Oh, it's so derpy. Careful, I haven't fed him yet. Where do we start? Well, usually I start by figuring out what my patrons want to make sure I don't forget what they ordered. I take notes in my journal. Let's have a look. Alright. Oh, you pinned my order. Yes, let's strike right there. I did. If I want to look for recipes, I check my detailed notes. I do keep a log just in case. When I'm sure I know what was asked of me, I browse my recipes. Can't you just freehand mix something to see what sticks? No. I like to mix and match for a more varied result, but the right balance is crucial, so I stick to my recipes. When I've settled on one, I can use the chalk to draw it on the board. What if I pick the wrong one? Can I either erase it with the sponge, or just pick a different recipe? My ingredients are stored in 5 bottles to the right. There's dexterity, intelligence, strength, and charisma. Oh, defense also. Alright, I'm going to take a real guess. I'm going to say Riz. Strength. No, this is defense. This is strength. Intelligence, which makes that one defense. I think dexterity sounds the tastiest. I had a feeling you might say that. If I mess up or want to redo my drink for any other reason, I simply feed my mistakes to Andu. Once I'm done, I ring the bell, activate the primordial vortex. Actually, I don't need to bore you with the magical details. Just try making a drink. You've got this. Alright. Swift strike. Draw a recipe. Okie dokie. Alright, so this one's dexterity. Okay. So it's 1. Hello? Okay. Uh-huh. Oh. Weird. Don't know how I'm doing that, but okay. That's too much. Sorry, Andu. I mean, here you go, Andu. Alright. No, that's too much. Damn it. Here you go, Andu. Oh, I didn't have to... Oh, I see. Okay, okay. So one part of this. One part of this. And then 3 parts. One more. Okay. Okay, this is simple enough. Just mixing drinks, you know? Here you go. It's a nice fancy glass. Well, it actually does teleport. Of course it does. What did you think was happening? I thought you were just very good at sleight of hand. Yeah. I am. I see. Well, give your creation a taste. That's delicious. I made that? Yeah, you made that. Actually, I made that, but whatever. Thanks for showing me the ropes. Thank you for your enthusiasm. These adventures you dream of, aren't you scared they'd be the end of you? Maybe, but how would I know if I never try? Do you actually want to try? Well, yes. I want to tell great stories, but what? Never mind. Hey, you're wanted. Excuse me, there's a guy in my bar? There's a dude in my bar? He's edgy? He's an edgy rogue? How can I help you? A drink. For you? Right. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific. Thanks. How about Spoken Heart? Some charisma couldn't hurt. Sure, whatever. Alright. Spoken Heart. Here's a little bit of this. A little bit more of this. A little bit of this. And all that. Bing bong. Here's your drink. This should be digestible. Might even be tasty. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of that banshee hunting the lonesome lagoon at night. And her bone-shattering song of sorrow. Almost. Okay. Got a rumor. Banshees haunting the lonesome lagoon, wailing a song will shatter your bones. Hopefully, hyperbole. Okie dokie. Alright. The brooding type, I see. Not you two. What are you thinking, Fable? Just dreams. Yours or someone else's? Mine. Other people seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that? Isn't that up to you? I wish it was. My brother says my dreams are fool's errand, that I'm running away from where I belong. And you guys are all down here. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the woods like that stream of that ripples down the mountain. Or the birds in the trees. We keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do. And is that what you want to do? Yes. No, not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure, boredom will feel like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. And I want to sing songs about my adventures that make other people yearn for that same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It's my home. But there's nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my brother looks after the Grove, as well as my sisters. I think that would be fine without me. Then you should do what your heart desires. Will it stop aching then? I think so, yes. What if it's wrong to leave, though? What if destiny never meant for me to leave? What if it did? That would be a dream come true. Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventures start with you. Thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day. Hello. Greetings, traveler. How may I help you? You own this establishment, innkeep. Are you... I'm gonna stick with that voice. Last time I checked. With whom do I have the pleasure? Name's Carolyn. You can call me Care or Lynn. Couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Care. Lynn. What can I do for you? Perhaps something to drink? You do the thing with the quests, right? So they say. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice. That's me. That's me talking. Sorry, I was mimicking you a little bit. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice board. No. No quest for me. But I may have one for you. Or your notice board. Excuse me, I'm just having my own drink. See, I'm a bartender, but I'm a medieval bartender, so I'm allowed to get drunk. Tell me more. I'm actually not drinking. It's gamer subs. Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in Tagrin, terrorizing farmers, tearing sheep apart. The whole program. I think you're a woman, but I'm going to stick with this voice because you are a wolf. Vukakin Carolyn told me about a werewolf who was roaming around Tigran. Tregarin. A potential threat to villagers. Okay. A werewolf. That's news to me. Listen, me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade, and that was far south as Arova. I've previously seen in Arova, southern town. Okay, that's the same, so we'll keep those together. Been wondering if it's the same one, just moving up like a nomad. Hey, Hefe, how was Metal Gear? I thought the werewolf hype died along with that one romance novel. You mean the one with the vampires? Yeah, I think so. Nah, just split the society into two camps. Team Werewolf or Team Vampire. Didn't realize you were live voter. It's okay, Jeff. Don't worry, buddy. Next time. It was a very impromptu stream. It was like just out of the blue. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like streaming. This came out like yesterday or the day before, and I was in the mood to play it, and I played their like previous game a little bit on stream. But yeah, I am streaming tomorrow as well. Every Sunday. That's the plan. All right. Yeah, I read that already. Which one are you, Innkeep? Ooh, which one am I? Not gonna lie, definitely Team Werewolf. Metal Gear was fun. I knew it was out. I knew it was out of usual, so there was a lot of growing pain. Yeah. 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 You're playing Twin Snakes or just the original like PlayStation one? Only figured out how to stealth take down 2.5 hours in. Oh yeah, yeah. They don't really explain it. There's a lot of stuff they don't explain. Is it the fur or the pecs? Neither. Questionable experiences with the other camp, more so. I'm itching to ask for details. Don't. How about you? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, that's why I asked. Keep guessing. Oh, the re-release. Oh, okay, yes, right. So, because they all came out in one bundle now. Yeah, right. I don't have that yet. Gotta get it. I'm surprised I don't have it yet. Alright. Has anyone ever told you you could pass as a werewolf? Yes, all the time. At least twice a day. Only downside is looking like a wolf is getting mistaken for one. I see. I see. Why don't you take care of the werewolf yourself? Yes. No. I'm just afraid he might look a little too much like my Uncle Dragon. I would feel bad slaying that fella. You know, hunchback, hairy, crooked teeth. Is that a werewolf or my Uncle Dragon? You can't tell. Same fate befell Aunt Olga. Sorry to hear that. Nah, that hag had it coming. Never fall behind your grooming schedule, or before you know it, the next wannabe Van Helsing will strike you down with a silver arrow. Do the Van Helsings also hunt werewolves? I don't know. Don't care enough to check. Either way, the southern werewolf, yeah? Right. Anything else might be helpful for others to get it done rather swiftly? Fetch. Pardon me? Should they get into dangerous situation, they'll have to start playing fetch. That works? On any dog. Trust me. Werewolf's secret weakness is playing fetch. Apparently no dog can resist the urge to run after a stick. Excuse me. I've got a cough, and yeah, it sucks. Good to know. Thanks, Care. Lynn? It's not hard. Either Carolyn, Care, or Lynn. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go with Care. Alright, Chief. You got a name, or is it just Innkeep? Just Innkeep for now. Playing hard to get, I see. Well, Innkeep, and before I venture on, you've got a drink for me? Of course. What would you like? Take something powerful, something with a whole lot of strength. And don't you dare give me any of that. Don't you dare give me any of that watered down muck instead. You got it. So strength. Strength. You want strength. All strength. That's the one, baby. Okie dokie, a little bit of defense in there. A little bit of riz. Okie dokie. I can't tell if those are pecs or tits. Yep. I know what you mean, Jeff. I've just fully embraced the fact that it's maybe a guy, but or maybe a woman, but it's a barbarian, so it's a strong woman either way. If they're strong and they've got a deep, husky voice. A drink with 0 water, as requested. Not bad. Just what I was craving. Thanks. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back west, through the Ashen Grove. Got some business to take care of. What kind of business? Personal business. Care to elaborate? No. But you won't stop asking till I do, will you? No. My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. An unusual amount of undead seems to be haunting the West. Undead snails are being accused of eating crops. This apparently poses a problem. Okay, so I would like to keep these together. Slap that over there. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating. But I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptick in the West, so might as well humor her. And make sure she hasn't turned into an undead snail herself? Yeah, something like that. It's odd, isn't it? Resurrecting the dead? It certainly is unconventional. That's one way to put it. I think there's not much digging up. There's not much use digging up the past. It's just going to open wounds, and open wounds you stapled shut. Babe, would you still love me if it was an undead snail? Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, that has to be the answer to that question. No matter what they like say. Like, no matter what it is. It's a yes because it's never going to happen. So, just yes. Wise man. Always yes. Yeah, exactly. Or eat your face. Oh, okay. I think I might have skipped some dialogue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, no, I didn't. The past haunts. That's me. Sorry. I have a habit of making fun of people. The past haunts everyone willing to listen. Would you mind talking like a normal person? I ain't exactly up for philosophizing. I know the word philosophy. I know it. It's just the Z is throwing me off. Philosophizing. And it's 'cause it's not a word. It's fucking with me. You started this conversation, okay? And I'm ending it. Okay, I'm sorry, Care. All right. Well then, that's too big of a word for barbarian. I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, stop. Can you not dig your claws into my bar, please? Thank you. If you find any more rumors, stop. If you find any more rumors for me or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf. Don't do groups. But sure, for more work, I'll be back. Fail RP. I'll be waiting. There we go. We got Care and Fable. I don't think I learned her last name, but apparently I learned her last name. I guess I would learn her age because, you know, yep. Apologies for whatever. Your voice is definitely gruff for a woman, but we're sticking with it. Chaotic good, you are a beast slayer. Technically not a barbarian, Jeff. I was wrong. I'll be waiting. Speaking of rumors, you know how to turn them into proper quests, right? Don't want them to go to waste. Yeah, sure, I know how to do that. But just, you know, I could use some help. Fine, I've got a few minutes. Let me see your setup. This is where I sort all the... Sorry, I was making fun of you again. This is where I sort all the rumors I've collected. I also like to keep them written down in my journal so I don't forget. Smart. I think the best step will be sorting the matching snippets on your quest page. Just drag them over and make sure they're all for the same quest. Otherwise, you'll end up confusing adventurers. Once you're done, select that quill of yours and it'll be written up. Got it? Got it. Thanks for your help, Care. Put it on my tab. That's not how... Nope. That's not how that works. Good night to you, too. I guess she left. Alright, let's assemble this quest. Werewolf. Werewolf? Werewolf. Maybe I should put it in the right order. Yeah, that's about right. Artisan Vakakin passed by the Wayfarer's Inn, reporting a werewolf making their way up to Tregerin from Arova. They pose a potential threat to both helpless sheep and villagers. Apparently, werewolves love playing fetch and are brave enough to take. Are you brave enough to take on this quest and save Tregerin from this werewolf mayhem? Innkeep. That's me. I the innkeep. Don't need it. Okay, you can eat that. That's fine. That's my good little boy. All right. Act 1, Part 2, Prelude to Bravery, 58th of the Wake. All right. Hey, Fable. You took the quest. What do you have there, Fable? I found this on your notice board. It says there's a werewolf terrorizing Triggerin. Is that true? It is indeed. Have you sent anyone after it yet? Maybe the hooded guy from yesterday? Not yet. What kind of hero are you looking for? One who knows their way around difficult terrain. Woods even. Preferably one who is good with a bow. You know, like a ranger. Background from the Ashen Grove? That'd be crazy. Oh, they, them. I didn't realize. Okay. One who tells me they want the quest. I am good with a bow. Yes, Fable. And I know my way around any woods. I know, Fable. And maybe I want the quest? Just maybe? No, not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern and a quest practically jumps out at me. And I think, hey, there's a start for an adventure. It's near the forest. It's near a forest? You know forest. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically just normal wolves, but slightly scarier because they are also human, but you've talked to humans before. And you've got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they're just collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you if anyone had taken it yet. And then? I didn't think that far ahead. I see. Or rather, I did, but then I thought, what if I take the quest? Then I have to go on the quest. And I have to fight a werewolf. Or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me? And what if I try to shoot it with my silver arrow? I miss and shoot a tree instead. And then the tree would be mad at me. But it wouldn't really matter because I'd be dead because of the werewolf. That took a quick turn. So maybe I should put the quest back. Fable? Yes? Do you want me to tell you to take the quest? Maybe. I can't make this decision for you. Neither can I. Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, it's like I freeze in place. And suddenly I'm unable to move until someone makes the decision for me. Like a slime. A frozen slime. A frozen slime that can't move. Hey guys. I've met slimes less anxious than you. You've met slimes? My tavern is open to everybody. Oh, right. What do slimes drink? Water? More slime? Bones? You sell bones? Only to slimes. Ah, maybe you'll be able to add my bones to your menu soon. You just have to pick them up from the forest floor. I think I'd have a hard time convincing a werewolf to give up free bones. Why are you so anxious, Fable? In general? Oh, hey, that's me. I'm a slime. It's true. You are. You were here, Jeff. I fed you bones. I think answering that would take up more time than we have to spare. About taking that quest. It seems that you want to take it, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it instead. Oh, well. Delicious bones. I do want to go on that quest. Werewolves may not be the best muses. But it would make a good start for a song, right? The prelude of an epic fable. Or of an epic. Fable, the protector of the woods. The world, the worms. The worms? They seem like they need protecting. But every time I think about embarking on a quest, and start to think more deeply about what might happen, all my bones start to shake and I feel dizzy. Is there something making you feel like you might fail? Aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf? We don't know we don't know what it's thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice. That is a solid point, me. It might. Well, heroes have history, right? Great feats they can look back on to prove their bravery. Inspirational adventures that remind them of the light in the dark. I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Like the Mary Morgan accident. Or my first encounter with the Amaranthian Hydra. Or the reason why nobody wants to spend time with me. Okay. I think I'm most curious about the Mary Morgan accident. Or incident. Yes, the Mary Morgan incident. Didn't you hear about that? Oh, thank God. The word didn't get around. It was my very first adventure. The chance to finally escape from the daily grind. What happened? An adventuring party was on their way, passing through the Ashen Grove. Due to the Sylvan spirits, it gets fairly foggy at night, and the fog bears great danger to anyone who isn't acquainted with the spirits who call it home. Sorry, she said fog bears, and I was like, fog bears? Why am I not? What are fog bears? Am I safe? So they wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Trigger and recommended me. I agreed to help, of course. My first adventure. Yay! I was so excited, but also very, very nervous, of course. It had to go wrong. Of course it had to go wrong. Fog bears sound like an Elden Ring enemy. I'm pretty sure they are. Like, those bears that just show up out of nowhere, like the rune bears, they just show up out of the fog. So technically, fog bears. Eh? I think it was the nerves. Why are you so nervous? New people, seasoned adventurers, one stronger than the next, all in shining armor and armed to the teeth. I wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way. How did it go wrong? I felt their condescending glares on my back as I walked them through the woods. Of course, I didn't know whether they actually glared, but my fear got a hold of me and I led them astray. I must have blacked out. I never get lost in the woods before. But this time I did. I couldn't see well. There was blood rushing in my ears and I felt dizzy. So for some stupid reason, I led them along a path no one should ever take. Past the riverbanks of Shivermere, home to the Mary Morgan. You know of the Mary Morgan, yes? The wrathful spirit known to drown men? Not sure if she really differentiates between genders, though. In the riverbanks, Shivermere. It's a Mary Morgan, a wrathful spirit that likes to drown men, women, and everything in between. Banshees haunting. Ooh, those are related. Those are related! For some stupid reason, I led them right to her arms. I got scared, and in the end, they had to save me. They fought the creature, and we finally found a way out of the dawn. And then finally found a way out when dawn broke, and the fog ebbed away. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey, and I silently bid my farewells when we reached the other side of the Ashen Grove. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still the laughing stock of everyone of their gatherings. How am I ever supposed to set foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, it could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the Wyvern Chimera that resides in Craig Mangrove. Alright, there's too many quests. Wyvern Chimera resides Okay. They say it has a taste for adventurers. But you didn't. But I didn't. Okay, tell me about the first encounter with the Hydra. Well, just the day after it arrived to guard the portal, or just the day, yeah, the day after it arrived to guard the portal to the dream plane Avalon. I wanted to be polite and neighborly, so I brought it some homemade biscuits. I burned them a little in the oven, but I thought since it has fire breath, it wouldn't mind. So I approached the Amaranthian Hydra, and I had this whole speech prepared about how I'm looking forward to having it around, and how its green scales match my hat. But it was so tall and intimidating, I forgot everything all about I wanted to say. So I just set down the biscuits and smiled awkwardly. It looked at my biscuits and then at me, and it said, "By the rivers of the stars stands a man who reads the firmament's past. Some things are as sturdy as the gilded ice. Some things as changing as Leviathan's sea. All chimeras hate mice. All hydras love tea." Hydras love tea. Chimeras hate mice. Okay. I thought to myself, wow, the Amaranthian Hydra has given me a riddle. A quest! Maybe this shall be my first adventure. But I couldn't figure out the answer, so I left, and tried to solve the riddle for 3 days. I was too ashamed to step back in front of it, lest it know I was not worthy of its wisdom. I think it just wanted tea. But then I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran back, apologized, and begged for the answer. Turns out, that's just how it speaks. It wanted tea. Did you get it some? Yes. Then you completed its quest. 3 days late. If it had needed an antidote, it would have died. Would-haves are about as useful as an antidote when you hadn't been poisoned. They change nothing. I suppose you have a point. So why does no one spend time with you? Because I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky, and whenever good things are supposed to happen, I ruin them. No matter how easy things might be, nothing seems easy enough for me. Imagine there's one nail sticking out of the whole kingdom. Everyone would pass by it except for me. I'd get caught on it and rip my coat. Did that happen once? Once? I wish it had just been once. Seems like my life follows the path that's most embarrassing. Or dangerous. Or dangerously embarrassing. The curse of ill luck follows me wherever I go. Like an adventuring companion who secretly wants to kill you. No one wants to hang out with you, with someone who naturally attracts bad things. You're too harsh on yourself, Fable. Am I? See, just last week I wanted to gather fresh flowers. The daffodils are blooming, and they make for a nice bouquet, you know? Or hair accessories. They always calm my anxiety when I have them around. But me being me, I confuse them with their evil twin, the weeping Amaryllis. Now guess what I spent the whole day afterwards doing? Weeping? Like a baby, all day long. When I plucked them, I released their spores and I started crying. I suddenly felt all the sadness of the world rush over me. I'd never been so heartbroken. I'm sorry, that sounds horrible, Fable. It was. Between the tears and the sobs, I managed to make a tincture out of hogweed. It eased the pain, but the tears wouldn't stop until dawn. I'm so silly sometimes. Yeah, you're a goofball. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with picking flowers. There is if they're the wrong flowers. Imagine if I had offered them to adventurers, or even worse, the Hydra. That would have been so embarrassing. I don't think gifting others flowers, making them a little happier, is embarrassing. and it would have made for a good story to laugh about together. I didn't think they would have laughed about it with me. I don't think they would have laughed about it with me. Can you not make fun of me, please? I didn't think they would have laughed about it with me, more at me. Maybe they would laugh with you if you chose not to run away. You seem to assign a cruel sense of humor to people that haven't actually shown you such a thing yet. Not everyone thinks about you the way you think about yourself. That would be nice. Innkeeper? Yeah? Do you like spending time with me? No. Yeah, you're alright. Really? Of course. Seeing your face in my tavern brightens even the cloudiest of days. Please never stop coming around. I won't. You make me feel a lot less alone. Thank you. It's because you're not alone. Not as long as my tavern and I are here. That'll be 10 gold. You better not go anywhere. Not planning on it. Anyhow, your bill. You seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem here. But how can I not be with when everything I touch falls apart? You know that isn't true. You're right. I'm a great gardener. Everything grows around me, but I seem to just get smaller. Except zucchinis. I can't figure out how to grow those. So in a way, I'm like a zucchini. I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm capable of. You'll have to find that out then. Like, on a quest? For example. Don't you think I'm a little underleveled? Do you think that'll change by sitting around? I guess not. Someone has to help those people, right? What if I don't and no one else comes around? What if I'm the only chance they got? But what if I'm not? What if there's someone better? The best thing you can do is try to help. So what if another adventurer swings by and they're able to make the situation better? Isn't that a good thing? 4 hands are better than 2, and who knows? You might even end up forming a party. Oh. And besides, if it's a perfect hero they want, they'll be waiting forever. I didn't think about it like that. Maybe I shouldn't decide to give up before I even try. After all, I'm a very fast runner, so if I screw up, I can just run away real quick. That's the spirit. Okay, I, Fable, a great gardener and, future hero, charmer of nymphs. I am going to embark on this quest and save the villagers, and I shall return victorious. Did I do it right? Yes. Good job. I leave the quest in your capable hands, brave adventurer. Would you like a drink to aid you on your journey? Yes. Do you have something that can make me more nimble and quiet so the werewolf won't see me coming? Something with a lot of dexterity. If I want to fight it, I'm going to need that surprise round advantage. Or maybe something that can help me with my diplomacy? Perhaps it's just a hungry, lost lichen after all, and it only needs a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we could even be friends. But I would need something with a lot of charisma for that. I will leave the choice up to you. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe. Please keep it to one of the abilities I asked for. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. But of course, I'm sure you are already aware of that, so sorry for backseat mixing. Okay. That I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like being the decider of your fate, because Andrew, what do you think, buddy? I don't know what to do. I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think I should do two or, oh my god, one or the other? Do you think I should do some Riz, some give her that Riz? All right, Jeff, I'm trusting you. The spoken heart. We got it. Okay. It is 3 parts Riz. 1, 2, 3. 1 part strength, I think this is. Yeah, strength. Okay, and 1 part defense. The spoken heart. Okay. Okay. She's gonna die, and it's gonna be my fault. This should do it. It's not what you're used to, but, you know, it'll give you that Riz. Thank you. I feel much better. Braver. Barming. No, that sounds like I'm tending to a farm. There are a lot more farmers in Triggerin, and I'm going to protect them all. Or talk to them until they feel better. I'm sure they could use that too. I just hope I don't have to fight anyone. No, I'll be okay because of your help. I'll be able to talk myself out of any situation. Thank you again. I think this drink gave me the courage I needed to get started. You got this, Fable. You got it. I'll try. Have some faith in yourself. Okay, I got this. Much better. Oh, I almost forgot. I was thinking about how much your words helped me yesterday. And how I'd like to thank, or how I'd have to thank you properly if I ever did end up taking a quest. So? I brought you some phoenix chilies from my garden. They seem like something you might enjoy. They possess natural magic properties. If you plant them in the right soil, they can grow to be fire resistant. And consumption can pass that onto mortals like us? Exactly. I thought they might go well with your drinks. They will. Thank you, Fable. That's a very thoughtful gift. Since I'm waiting for another shipment of infusions in a few days, I can take a look at them all together later. Of course. I'm glad you like them. Maybe I'll order a drink with some next time. But first, I have to complete my quest. I'll see you post-victory. Alright. Get the fuck out of here. Don't die. Hopefully it will be alright. I wonder what path their fate took. Maybe a zesty one. I hope I was able to help. Oh, it's Edgelord. You again. Me again. And who are you? Someone who wants a drink. Okay. What kind? Drink. Yes, I get it. Could you try to be more specific? The spoken heart one tasted fine. Thank you. Alright, spoken heart. You know what? I don't need it. I got it. 3 parts Riz. 1, 2, 3. 1 part strength. That was... Did I get it? Was that 1 part? There we go. Spoken heart. Gotcha. A spoken heart, just for you. Maybe it'll help you find more words. Good attempt. Perfectly drinkable. Might make me come back for more. Might not. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay, bye. Charming. Anyone else coming in? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Careful, you'll step on my cape. Oh, shush. That's a woman, I think. But beard, but breasts, so they, them. I'm assuming they, them for both. Greetings, travelers. How may I help you? Not another one of your empty blabbers. Babblers. Would you prefer a different line? Let's see. Hail and well met, adventurers. Would you like to try me drinks? No, that feels wrong somehow. Could you try the one where you serve drinks quietly? I'm fresh out of that one, sorry. Could I interest you in a sarcastic comment? Thought so. You're planning to try and peer into my backstory. Yeah, probably. I'm warning you. I'm very good at ignoring non-essential NPCs. Okay. Why are you ignoring me? Not ye, the innkeep. The innkeep is ignoring me? Not in the slightest. Don't worry too much about him. He's a tad quirky. I see. The thing on your shoulder, is it quirky too? What thing? Ah! My cape! Your cape? That's not his cape. The green fell on his shoulders and ooze, or what's left of it. And the rest of it's on you. Alright. Pretty tough to clean off. I'm not being able to, like, stick to an accent with you. May I ask how that happened? You just did. Maybe I could offer you 2 drinks in exchange for a story and names. Yes, I love stories. Well then, may I have your name? No, but I shall tell it to you. I'm Sir Alphonse Louise Frederic Duquette Dusson. It's long for Kyle. Okay, Kyle? Kyle. Well, Kyle, what kind of drink can I offer you? Blood, or if you're out, I would settle for something that tastes like blood. Or looks like it. Red is my favorite color. Look something for with red in it. It's got a lot of red in it. A lot of the Southern Brawler. Oh, I gotta write it on the board. My bad, my bad. Okay. 3 parts strength. Okay, 1 part riz. And 1 part defense. Here you go. A Southern Brawler. There you go. Some almost blood for you, sir. Oh, thank you very kindly. That looks delicious. It also tastes delicious. Very alive. Maybe as a chaser, you could let me have a bite. No. Okay. And to whom may I offer the second drink? Rhea Frostgrip. Nice to meet. Yeah. Skip. Okay. Just serve me something strong. Something that feels durable, tough, like the mountain of your caves of your. One of those frosted lagoons looks close enough. Coming right up. Oh. Alright. Frosted lagoons. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of this. A little bit of this. A little bit of bell. Here you go. It's nice and cold. A taste of your. Just for you, valued customer number 2. Oh, are you hitting the placeholder text? Let me try. I see you're many things, but not a liar. Tastes like a pile of rocks, just how I like it. So, Ray, Kyle, what about the ooze-filled story? Fine. Guess you've earned it. Alright, picture me, deep in the mountains of Dulvamer, with my trusty axe and a good drink on my side. There I was, minding me own business, digging for good stuff, you know. Hit a gold vein earlier, and deemed myself the luckiest dwarf of all time. Excuse me. Had a real big pile of gold. Then suddenly, this big ooze comes along and slurp. Gone it was. This is a very boring story. Perhaps we we could go looking for my cape now. It's nearly sunrise. And the sun kills you. Oh, right. A quirky vampire is looking for his cape. He seems a bit confused. Wanted to go for a stroll in the sun. Did the ooze also eat the cape? Yes. No. Oh. Anyways, I wouldn't call myself the best warrior, but the ooze slurped me gold. Hey, I had to do something. So I took my shovel and dug and hit and dug until there was nothing left of the ooze anymore. Well, almost nothing. So, did you dig out your gold? Silly food. She dug out me. And guess what he was clinging on to? The gold? Oh, yes, a big gold nugget. Should be enough to get me to Baruvia. And perhaps it can get me a dandy new cape. I don't think so, Sunshine. We had a deal. Ah, we did? Please allow me to ask you a question. What was that deal again? I get you to Baruvia so you can participate in your fancy vampire banquet, and in return, I get the gold. Okay. Yes, she, her with a beard. Okay, so her. Gotcha. She's a blacksmith. Raise a hot-headed dwarf. Blah, blah, blah. Okie dokie. But what about my cape? Where did you last see your your cape? Don't even bother. It's a lost cause. We looked everywhere on our way here. Fought cursed chests, many-eyed monstrosities, undead goons. And I started to wonder, where in his life did this man put his cape? Where everyone puts their cape. Do you know where I put me capes? Where? In a wardrobe. Oh, so you can wear it inside wardrobe land. What? No. Kyle, maybe we could find someone to retrieve your cape for you. We could? Phenomenal. I could put it out. I could put out a quest for you, but but for that I'd need a little more information. Good luck with that. First I need to know where you last saw your cape. I was getting ready for the annual vampire banquet hosted by Lord Strut in Baruvia. While getting dressed, I realized I couldn't find my cape. My first thought, of course I couldn't find it. The Cape of Invisibility is playing tricks on me. It's quite moody sometimes. Which is truly unfortunate when you want to wear it for an important event. We all know how important a fancy cape is for flaunting your vampire status. Of course. Yeah, of course. Then what was the last vampire event you wore the cape to? My wedding. Your wedding? When I married sweet Evelyn, I simply had to wear my most treasured cape to show how important she was to me. Evelyn, the vampiric Countess Evelyn residing in Merrow Castle? That would be her. Congratulations. Are you still married? Okay. I love the S's. Of course not. I hate her with every inch of her body. Every inch of her body, yeah. Turns out she just wanted... Spit it out, leech. Oh. What? My cape. Oh, rats, here we go again. My sweet Evelyn stole my cape. What now? That little, mean, vicious, beautiful beast, her. That thief of thieves robbed me of my most precious possession. Wouldn't that be your heart? No, I had that taken out centuries ago. But my cape, I could never live without that. Oh, sweet, sweet Evelyn, how could you do this to me? I trusted her with all I had. That's rough, buddy. Perhaps, innkeeper. That's your name, right? No. Oh, my deepest apologies. What is it, then? I don't think it's time for that yet. Names are valuable currency, after all. For some types, indeed. But you mustn't be so mysterious to a new friend. All my friends call me Innkeeper. Ah, well, in that case, I shall not disrespect your wishes. Well then, Innkeeper, do you think there's a courageous adventurer out there brave enough to retrieve my precious cape for me? I'm afraid that my sweetest Evelyn will kill me on sight if I ever set foot in her villa again. Yeah, I think that would that we could find such an adventurer. We're setting up that search right now. So where could a brave adventurer find Marrow Castle? Deep in the abyss of dread, at the foot of a mountain range that looks like a witch's bosom, towers towers the mansion of my dear Evelyn, Queen of Darkness, Temptress of Men, flamenco champion of 1467. The right hero should be able to outsmart her and escape with their life. But be wary, she bites. And she may be invisible now. Alright, I think I've got everything I need. I will write up a quest for you and have your cape back in no time. I hope so. That reminds me. Not another cursed monologue. Alright, let me do this quest real quick. Just kidding. I cannot yet. I must. What this? Ah, excuse me. What this? Well, this work. Ah. Okay. Boreas. Magical Lake, Abandoned Dragon Temple, Lonesome Lagoon. Okay, anyway. Innkeep, quickly another drink. I don't think I can make it through the Tales of Woe without some artificial stamina. I need another lagoon. See what I can do. Another lagoon, you say? I got 3 of these. 1 of these. 1 of these. Alright. Here you go. Some liquid stamina for a valued guest. Let me try. You got it right again. I might even last till dayfall with this. Kyle, would you like another drink as well? No, I cannot drink now that I am consumed with thoughts of my love's betrayal. Oh, it ails me so. Everything ails you. The whole way down here you were complaining about having to walk. My bat form doesn't work like it used to. I'm out of practice and the slime weighs heavily on my shoulders. And my back is all itchy. By the dragons, could it be because you insisted on sunbathing? Oh, right. Innkeeper, do you have a drink that could protect me from the sun? Perchance something that would also moisturize my delicate skin? I'm afraid not. Oh, that reminds me, my Aunt Matilda used to harness the power of a chimera's saliva for sun protection. A chimera? Okie dokie. Beast made of several animals. I know what a chimera is, Ray. Got 3 heads and all. Made by dragons to guard Gaia. Gaia likes to eat people for breakfast. I'm aware. I just didn't know the saliva could be so useful. If only I hadn't eaten that delectable bear chimera in the Scarlet Caves, I could have asked it for a sample of its saliva. Oh, and I'm sure that would have gone over well. Actually, I might know where to find one. Really? Will you get it for me then? No. Oh. What? Why are you all looking at me like that? Miss Frostgrip, dearest Rhea, perhaps we can alter our deal? Oh, no. Forget it. I ain't going. With nothing on me but a shovel and ooze goop, I'd be no match for such a beast. No problem. I can make it another quest for my trusted board. And when will it be done? Hi, Kyle. Alphonse Louise Frederic Duquette Dusson. Kyle. Unknown age. Background Eridu. Where? Okay. Arcana the Fool. I see. Okay. Tell me, when can I walk among mortals in the glistening sunlight once more? As soon as a fearless adventurer picks it up and succeeds, especially that part. Splendid! Did you hear that? A quest just for me. Let's leave it at 2. Say, Innkeep, while we wait for someone to do his work for him, do you perhaps have a room or two? Possibly a room without sunlight. Wouldn't want Snow White to go up in flames over here. Yeah, sure thing. We've got a couple of barred up rooms. You can stay there. How much? You can pay when you leave. Grand. That's not a price. Seems like you give more personality than usual. Seems like they gave you more personality than usual. Keep it up. Maybe you'll become a real boy one day. Thanks. Enjoy your stay. You too, tasty creature. Thanks. You too. Alright, let's do some quests. There's one thing that stands a chance against grueling course of sun, Chimera Sunlight. According to the Hydra, that Wyvern Chimera resists here. Okie dokie, let's write up this quest. Bam. Deep in the Cogman Grove resides a Wyvern Chimera. Its scales and claws are vulnerable treasure to any alchemist, its saliva even more so. As it happens, a certain vampire may be able to use rare saliva to produce a sunscreen so effective that even he could walk in broad daylight. Is there any adventurer or mouse brave enough to confront the Chimera? The beast, the Chimera, not the vampire, and bring back a bucket of saliva. Innkeep. Okie dokie. Quirky vampires looking for. I don't think it matters how I put them on. We last saw it here. Blammo. On a mild summer morning, a senile vampire came to look for his cape of invisibility at the Wayfarer's Inn. After a steady questioning, the innkeeper uncovered that he lost his cape at his wedding, where his ex-wife, Countess Evelyn, stole it from him. She resides at the foot of the Witch's Wrath Peak. Venture to the peak and dare to retrieve the long-lost cape, but be aware she might be invisible. Gotcha. Them's the quests. All right. How long have I? Oh, only an hour and a half. Okay, go for a little longer. Do one more day. Excuse me. My shipment of infusions finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some Fey crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with Fable's Phoenix chilies, I have 3 infusions now. I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they will be of use soon. Diplomacy is key. Fable, you're back! You survived! So, innkeep, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Care. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive! Thank you, I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well, and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not? So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did help me solve my family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at the very least. Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud, more of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. Oh. But no one died? No. Elfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was gonna kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot. I think he's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did... kind of. I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Care. I didn't. Was there by chance. They were both stealing sheep. Was not. Sure was. Adventuring don't pay what it used to. So you steal other people's sheep? Mind your own business. How did this lead to a successful quest? Please explain. Well, where do I start? How about the beginning? Right. I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon, not, of course, the quest, Fable, the beginning of the quest. Right, the quest. Traveling there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Trigorin right around dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of wide fields and vineyards, as well as see one farm after the others. An idyllic sight. Well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness, and I'm no owl. Thank God. You're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you'd do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay, I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. Your ears aren't failing at being small. So I snuck closer and saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned all my courage and stepped out of the fence and stepped out of the shadows and said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put the sheep down." I didn't expect to be in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. Confused me, alright. Who the heck sees a werewolf and first thing to do is try and greet him? A polite person. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a "What?" So the confusion plan worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said, "Please put down the sheep." And she asked, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice." And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you, a guard?" I was about to introduce myself when I heard this blood-curdling howl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole in the fabric of reality and then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. And it made my blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps. I barely dared to turn around. You turned around immediately. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow, gleaming eyes, gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. And they were blue, checkered, had an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon used to wear, that old fuck. Hey, why can't I say that? What the? Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh. Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Or I wasn't joking. Wasn't joking? Was joking. I was joking. Okay. Hadn't seen the old man in years. Was copping about by joking. Was coping by joking. That's the only way I can talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually he left, ran away without a word, left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. Swore I was going to kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was to just get those problems as far away as from everyone as possible. Idiot.
Did you talk it out with your fists?
I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did.
How do you figure that out? How did you figure that out?
Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop. Oh, she's so happy. But they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I ended up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But I got them to stop long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I've never done that, of course. But they must have believed me because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little pal.
Thank you. Thank you?
I sat them down and did my best to be an insurmountable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds rather dangerous. It was. Wouldn't have stopped for them. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop 2 angry wolves? Oh, well, anyway, I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out Mr. Dragan and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dragan was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people that he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. Yeah, if we had known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things, or Vukakin things to speak of. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But yeah, the sheep too. But they had to talk about it. The silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that. The little stick is oddly persuasive. I was talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Maybe. How'd it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a greatsword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there's still the problem of the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with the cure he can barely control himself. We helped him realize that there isn't a cure. That even a cure couldn't change. Excuse me. Sorry, Fable. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue. Yeah, sorry. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. That he was willing to accept he's different now and learn how to live with again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they've taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and secrets of the moon signs. It sounds like a bunch of... It's real. You're a crescent moose. We introduced Mr. Dragan to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. Sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new. So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one? Exactly. You nailed it. I like that. So after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together.
got offered to spend the day at the settlement, but they didn't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back here. I was talking about how they need to update you on everything non-stop. Would think they live here or something.
I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did.
They also started crafting something with the werewolves.
Ah!
Said something about it being for you and keep.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise.
That wasn't hard, was it?
Oh, well.
So, a drink? What can I offer you, Care? Spread me with something that fits my brawn. By which I mean make me the usual. Strength never gets old. Gotcha. Strength. Okie dokie, a little bit of Riz. And a little bit of defense. Okie dokie. And surprise. Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about that. Fable, what about you?
Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back? Like a swift strike back to my senses? I've had a stressful day, night, morning, a sequence of events.
Yeah, I can get you your usual. One of these. And one of these. There we go. Here you go.
Thank you. Wow, this is perfect.
You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're going to pass out any second. So do you.
Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep?
I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent.
That's depressing.
I have a room available. You can stay there. Oh, sounds good. How much?
I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest.
Fine. Later, Elfie.
See you later.
Are you heading home, Fable?
Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Yes, that too.
Did you enjoy your first quest?
I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know it was so good. I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming.
Have you considered that you weren't pretending?
Hmm?
You did well, Fable.
Thank you. I hope that wasn't my only adventure.
I think it was just the beginning.
That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day?
It's a very tall order.
You're right. I'm not cut out for that.
I didn't say that. I would just prefer if the world didn't end.
Right.
But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help.
Maybe you should ask Carolyn first.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for the raid. Hello. Tavern Durgan. The watchful one, thank you. Thank you for the raid. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second. We'll see. Yeah, as you can see, I'm playing some tavern talk. I was actually probably just about to wrap up soon. Maybe I'll do one more day. But yeah, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. So you're playing had to raid. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah. Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity, even if it would make for a good song, or a sad one, or both. I'm going to head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. I can't wait. See you soon. See you soon. I like Fable. She's chill. She's very nice. Oh, edgelord, his hood's off. What's up, dude? Good evening to you too. Oh, okay. This quest wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. Okay. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. Did the wind carry you in? No, my legs. Okay, sorry. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally, physically, emotionally. Emotionally? I want to take on that quest, go to the castle, get the cape. I mean, can you not make fun of me, Zephyr? Not do my voice? Yes. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know of the castle? Yes? It seems strange. It is. A vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange, fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence. Me too. Yeah, you know I wrote this, right? Has she frequented your tavern? Nope, not recently. But she has. Once. Had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So she was only here at night? Yeah. Would you say she was unnaturally pale? No, she had a lot of makeup on. Alright, enjoy enjoy your sleep and enjoy your morning shift, and thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it, Watchful. Good night. But below that mask. Sure, yeah. I would guess she looks pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. Interest. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? Did you hear about the wolves avoiding the castle? Really? All of them? Yes. She has a lot of werewolf traps set up, but all animals seem to steer clear of Merrill Castle. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land one way or another. As a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. Do you not sympathize? Sorry, I was making fun of you this time. Do you not sympathize with that? Thievery is an honorable skill,
but it must be performed in secret. Or you're not worth the coins in your pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude.
I suppose. Only thing worse is stealing a man's hat.
Not if it's cursed.
Especially that.
Point is, if you can't defend yourself from having our trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences.
The consequences being you.
Exactly.
It definitely sounds like you know what you're doing.
Of course I do. I'm one of the shadows and the wind. I'm one with the shadows and the wind. Gone before they even notice I'm there.
So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right?
Certainly. Gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills.
What about some interior decorations?
Like what, for example?
Just something to pretty up my tavern a little bit? Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration?
Like a chair?
Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I'd prefer something smaller, like a little trinket, you know? My walls are a bit empty.
Wait, you're being serious?
Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern.
I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed?
Well, then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and get the cape back to me, along with a neat little addition to my interior design.
Sounds like I'll need a few stamps.
Would you like some?
No, too traceable.
How about a drink, then?
I could do with one of those. Who do drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude? Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade them for?
Ooh, secrets or a joke? I think I want a joke from this guy.
A joke? I don't do jokes. I don't do drinks, I'm afraid.
Oh, that was me. Then I don't do drinks, I'm afraid.
How do explorers hide their treasures?
He's tearing up. How?
By dragging them to a safe location.
Alright, I feel bad for you. You could have one of my renowned drinks. And some of my renowned infusions. Holy, yeah, hey, what's up? In fact, I got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them.
Infusions? Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer?
For you, for your purposes, I could think of the benefit of either fey crystals or frozen pine cone. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They could help you form a magic frost barrier that will hurt foes trying to harm you, with a fey crystal straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible, eventually, and for a bit. And the duration is a bit unpredictable. I also have some Phoenix chilies. I don't think that would be very useful for your situation.
Interesting.
So what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore?
I fear the Lady Evelyn may be of undead nature, so I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. Although that does sound appealing.
Strength I can do. And some frost armor should help with the fangs.
Or perhaps the smarter route would be to evade her wrath entirely. To outstealth her and steal the cape right from under her pale nose, so that she may lie in shame of having lost against me.
I think such an approach would require a certain amount of dexterity.
And some invisibility could help with staying unseen, should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision, Innkeep. Your wisdom is no joke, is it?
Okay. Okay. My thinking is he's gonna run in there with strength and like stuff and not be able to do anything because she's invisible. So I'm thinking invisibility requires invisibility. So we're gonna go with the dexterous one. All right, they might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I mix to the correct recipe. Maybe I should try adding the infusion first and adjusting the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Okay. So dexterity. I'm going with the swift strike. Draw the recipe. There we go. Okay, infusions. Where are my infusions? Oh, they're hanging up. Okay, so invisibility. Whoops. Plunk it in there. Okay. Okay. So I don't need to do anything with that. I just need a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. Okay. So that would be the right thing. However, all right, let's do it. We're doing this one. This is the one. Some spice to the table. Add any infusion to a mix a drink of your choice. Here you go. A drink that all vampires fear.
Garlic breath?
Not quite. But that is a good name. May I steal it?
You don't ask permission before you steal something and keep. Then it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade.
I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the garlic breath?
Good one. Tastes like, not garlic, but just as fearsome to a vampire.
You don't find garlic scary?
No, only the absence of it.
That makes two of us.
Hopefully this will help me evade her. I'm not prepared for a fight, but I won't need one if my steps are as swift and as quiet as the wind. And if she can't see me, goodbye, Innkeep. I would say pray that the sun will carry me back to you. But my hopes do not lie with the Realm Keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance.
Vengeance makes for an early grave.
Or for a good story. Farewell.
Bye. Have a good one. Good luck. Or for a bitter end. Hey, Care. What you got there? Ooh, the other quest.
I'm taking this quest and a drink.
All right. Great. Did you sleep well?
What?
Sleep? How was it?
Oh, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages.
Sounds like you needed it.
No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up.
Of course. My apologies. I'll make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as compensation?
I think I already said that. Make something strong that'll wake me up and keep me up too.
Alright. So, what drink should we go with? Strength drink, huh? So that's what you want. What do this do? Will this give me some strength? Okay, this one will give me some strength and that, and a little bit less of that. Something spicy, huh? You want something like that. We gotta. That's already good enough for that. We need one of the. No. One of these. Good catch. All right. This is minus. Which one's minus? That one. Okay. So I need a little bit of this. No. Just take one. Take a little bit. Okay. So I got those two. Now I just need this. 3 of these. Or 2 of them, actually. Perfect. Nice spicy southern brawler. It'll also give you fire resistance. Something strong coming right up.
That is strong. Just the right amount of too much.
Maybe I should call this drink the Carolyn.
No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest.
Sorry, I was doing Zephyr's voice a little bit, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah, the quest.
I'm taking it.
So you said. I see it's my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it too much? Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned.
It has been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating, and I forget who I am.
I think it's called boredom.
It's torture.
That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera or for a vampire's sunscreen couldn't get more reckless than that.
I could by taking Elfie along.
Fair point. Please don't.
I won't. So the saliva's for a vampire?
Vampire sunscreen.
Can a vampire get their chimera goo themselves?
It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Oh, but I gave you the fire resistance! Oh, let's go! Also, if everyone just did their own quests, the quest economy would be in shambles.
Suppose that'd be terrible for business.
Indeed. Have you encountered a chimera before?
Nope, not a real one. Got me thinking. Ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian?
Depends. Are you religious?
Guess not.
Then no.
Would it be if I was?
I don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time, and they were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So stealing something to protect someone else seems to be within the line of the doctrine.
Huh. Good thing you ain't a priest. You do a piss poor job.
Thanks. Is blasphemy what you're most worried about?
I ain't worried.
Okay. Nervous?
Ain't that either.
Alright, then what is it?
Excitement, I suppose.
Excitement?
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing. I'm asking.
Yeah, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. And I've always sort of wanted to.
Why haven't you?
It ain't exactly easy to find one, or to survive one.
Seems like a great opportunity for you then.
It is.
What's it about guardians?
It's less about the guardian and more about what created it. Maybe a little more about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right?
Yeah, modeled after its creator, I guess. So let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons and chimeras with dragon heads?
They're cool. Also, When I was little, my baba used to tell me bedtime stories about dragons every night. She's a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from each of them and all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she
Passed?
left. One day she was just gone. I think she just wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. I like to think she visited one of the dragons one last time.
Carolyn's grand greatsword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the dragons themselves. Very impressive if true. Okay. Your family has a leaving problem.
At least she left our savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers.
Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera?
No, it was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think. But I never found a wyvern one. In all her years. It would have been nice to be able to tell her story when I returned. If I return.
I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I'd make for a good. I don't know if I'd make for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale.
I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much.
This is you talking too much?
So you like dragons?
Fuck yeah, dude. Who doesn't like dragons? They're fascinating. Very interesting. Very magical.
They are fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little. Really wanted their magic and their wings.
You can just ask them for their magic. You can just ask them for their magic. Not sure about their wings.
Ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic shit.
Why not?
I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons.
A little help never hurt anybody.
A little self-reliance don't either.
That's a good point. If you say so. Does that mean you don't want a drink to pep you up, Care?
Didn't say that.
I see. That doesn't count as help?
It's prepayment for me taking on one of your quests.
Sure. You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions that could help greatly with your quest.
Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple.
Alright. What can I get you then?
I reckon a little bit of boost to this body couldn't hurt.
Heard they're quick and toothy.
Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be hardy for its bite. Some defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Baba talked quite a lot about how much they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I'll need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea.
You sure you don't want any infusions?
Just a little bit of phoenix chili.
Just a little bit of phoenix chili would make you fire resistant, and that could be useful in a fight.
Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one.
On the topic of trickery...
No, one is enough.
Either you mix defense
and your weird chilies, or you go heavy on the intelligence. I don't need your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. It's your job. Figure that out.
Okay, so this is defense and strength. This is knowledge and dex. This is fire resistance. So it would be one of these two. Thank you. Thanks for the emote. I'm thinking Okay. We're gonna go with the one with the infusion, because I feel like you're gonna need some defense here. We're not gonna go... Although... What do you think, Andu? What do you think, buddy? Alright, we're gonna go with the Frosted Lagoon, I think. I'm gonna make you... No, that's not what we wanted. That's not... Yeah, no, we want the smart one. Alright, let's do the smart one. We're gonna make you smart. Yeah, we're gonna go smarts for this one. And 2 of this, 2 Riz. Okay. Good luck. Figured it out. Thanks. Hope we seasoned it with some trickery. It does feel weird, like my brain's sparkling. No refunds. How urgent is this sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends to not take a break, even for vampires. Maybe he could sunbathe less. That might solve his problems. That might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Good point. See what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Right, the mice. Use the weakness. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. Bye, Care. Alright. Let's feed my boy. Sweep up a little bit. Blow out the candles. And, yeah. I think we're gonna save and probably wrap up. I'm thinking this is a good point to wrap up. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me, whoever did. One of the twins, I know you're here. Thanks for popping in. Or at least you were here. The watchful one, I know you've gone to bed already, but thanks for joining me. Jeff, Josh, I know you guys stopped by for a little bit. Thank you. And anyone else who stopped by. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, once again, thank you. Oh, let me get on Xbox. Bro, it might be bedtime. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna continue this at some point. I like it. I like this game. Don't be a bitch. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue this. So bye bye. Thanks for stopping by.